Welcome to the Denver Sports Betting Show, UFC edition. My Fight Squad's here. We never left. This segment is brought to you by Assured Roofing, where you can score up to $2,000 off your next roof. Whether it's hail damage or just time for an upgrade, Assured Roofing has your back, just like we got yours for the bets. Quality work, local experts, and right now $2,000 off your next roofing project. So while you're out there betting smart, call Assured Roofing and invest in a solid win for your home. Be sure to use the promo code Denver Sports to lock in that promo, and their phone number is 303-646-9300. Boys, we got UFC news and a huge card last weekend. For a fight night, I couldn't have been any happier. 11 finishes. The Fighting Nerds were the only disappointment. Taylor, I know you love the nerds. What happened?
Man, I have no idea what happened because that was bad. That was bad. They got a little bit exposed there on the ground for Ruffy, but yeah, man, it was embarrassing to see. But I think they're still a very good team. I think they're experiencing a lot right now. They've got off to a tremendous start. I think they come back and learn from this, but man, what a letdown.
Man, I just got on the hype train, man. I was like, yeah, Taylor, the Fighting Nerds, I love them. And then bam, I was like,
growing pains, man. New gym, growing pains, something.
So, Agan, I know you were not here able to join us last week, but I have no doubt in my mind you would have picked Nassourdine Imavov to win. What do you think about his win? A big win against Caio Borralho, in my opinion, puts him next in line for a title fight.
Yeah, that was a big win for him. Yeah, I definitely would have picked him, but Caio, he's a dangerous guy too. You know, he's for sure gonna fight for the title sometime, you know, in the future. But Nassourdine, I think he's next for sure. But we'll see with the other matchup. What was it? RDR versus
Fluffy Hernandez.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think Nassourdine, he's next in line.
I agree. I definitely think this one was for the next one. But yeah, those other two fighters are right on the doorstep. Early prediction, in a perfect world, Nassourdine versus Khamzat. It happens. Who do you like?
That's a hard one too, man. They're both really good fighters, you know. But I think Khamzat would take it.
Yeah, Khamzat kills him.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah. There's no way Imavov did enough though. He didn't get the finish. RDR and Fluffy is going to get a finish. Yeah. And the winner from that is a better matchup against Khamzat anyways, because Imavov gets taken down and controlled probably, right? Yeah. That's a likely outcome. But both RDR and Fluffy have a better chance on the ground against Chimaev. And Imavov did great. He fought great, but there was no finish. And I think if one of these guys make a statement next month, that they're going to get the next shot.
Agree. But we know RDR and Fluffy Hernandez are going to grapple. I don't see any finish happening in that fight, knockout or submission. I think the fight is going to be Nassourdine.
Fluffy goes in on one of those takedowns. RDR throws one of those knees. Man, there's definitely a chance for a finish in this fight for sure.
Yep, I think there's a possibility.
Is anybody excited for any of those though?
Yes, finally.
Yeah. If those guys go against Chimaev, I don't think it's going to be exciting at all. No.
I'm excited for all the ones leading up to Chimaev. Those ones against those guys.
I'm excited if it's RDR or Fluffy. I think that is a better fight. I think the fight that they make is Nassourdine. That's just my opinion. We were just talking about it a second ago, but I feel like I almost have to bring it up. The poor guy, Harry Houdini Hardwick, the man just got his legs kicked out from under him. It was really the only TKO by leg kick I've ever seen. Did you guys watch the fight?
I didn't watch the fight. I just saw the highlight. I even showed my mom. I was like, look at this leg.
I showed my grandma. The only reason I bring that up is just to highlight the point that there is levels to the fight game. You know, these guys, no matter how skilled and talented they are fighting on the regional scene, the UFC is the cream of the crop. And that is what happens when you put somebody who is not ready into a fight with a real UFC fighter. He gets TKO'd by leg kick within round one. That's pretty much all I got to say about that one. But there was... I don't want to say it was controversy, but there was discussion from Sean Strickland, who we talk about on this show every single week, calling Caio an idiot for how he got ready for this fight. What makes him an idiot in Sean Strickland's mind, Taylor?
Sean Strickland is absolutely 110% correct on this, because he's talking about how he did 2 fight weight cuts in the span of a month, right? He weighed in as the backup for DDP and Hamzat, and then had this fight, I think it was 3 weeks later. And yeah, Sean's right. Like, there is no reason you should do that, especially when you're that close. You have a fight booked already. I think it definitely probably affected his ability in the Imavov fight. And yeah, one of the few times I like agree with Sean Strickland completely.
Very few times, but yes, 100% I agree.
Because didn't Cow seem very... He even came out and said that he didn't have the adrenaline, is what he said. And, you know, I'm sure there's that extra gear that you get into when you get into this type of fight. Having 2 weight cuts, like, that could definitely affect somebody's adrenaline, right?
100%. Yeah, like, because you had been talking about that, like, going up to the fight, like how stupid that was.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. and then it came out, DDP said he wasn't even a fight a backup, even if Chimaev fell out. So what were you hoping for? To fight Chimaev for not even the title? Like, why would you do that on the trajectory that he was on, being the leader of the Fighting Nerds? I think that was, I don't know what motivated that decision, but it was not using the nerd ability.
Somebody's got to step in at that point.
Yeah, that was not very nerdy, as we will say. Yeah, I mean, to put that much stress onto your body, and that reminds me of another article that I recently read talking about UFC Shanghai and Brian T-City Ortega. During his weight cut, he couldn't get the last bit of water out of his body. His body stopped sweating. Due to the extremeness of the weight cut, he went unconscious for 30 minutes and landed in the hospital. We remember seeing him and talking about him on the show, how disheveled he looked, how bad he looked heading into that Aljamain Sterling fight. Do you guys remember when we talked about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's 2 things going on there. Like, first of all, who let that happen? Because it said that he went to Aljo and said, hey, like, I just passed out for 30 minutes. I'm trying to make this fight happen. They have a backup, but I want to show up for you. And then he showed up for the fight. So who let him do that in the first place? And then his ex-girlfriend, though, Tracy Cortez, goes on and it's like, yo, this is what you get from the personal decisions you make in your life. So I mean, I don't know what that was about, but there might be something additional going on there. But Tracy, what's up? You ever want to call that? Okay.
That's why your team's so important. If you're around a bunch of yes men, like, stuff like that happens. Who does he tell? And he's like, oh, I passed out for 30 minutes. Like, you're good. Just get in there. Like, that's wild.
Yeah,
That's
he came out
wild.
looking like a shell of himself. Did you see that video of weigh-ins?
Yeah, I did. When he was walking up and his hair was all standing up.
He looked like a
everywhere.
zombie, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks crazy. And weight cuts they're tough, man, you know?
I don't know about that, but I don't know.
I cut weight very slowly, months and months at a time. These guys do it hours and hours at a time. If you have not seen what a weight cut looks like, I mean, there's tons of videos on the internet. There's the one from Dana White's Contender Series where Josh, what was that guy's name? Former UFC fighter Josh something, but anyways, they're like dragging the guy back into the sauna. He's like trying to get out, claw his way out, and they're like dragging him back into the sauna just to make weight. What these guys go through is absolutely insane, and I think we should be making our betting decisions based on some of these things, because a weight cut very much affects their performance.
Kayla Harrison, she said by the luck of God, she got that last pound off, and she went in there and dominated, but
some people are different.
But she was like, they showed videos of her or photos of her crying, trying to get that last pound.
But that's
off.
everything going perfect, and everything went perfect that weight cut. So what happens if there's a little bit off in that next weight cut? Does she perform as good? All I know is Amanda Nunes, though, plus 130 on the bet lines right now.
Give me Kayla Harrison. Title stays in America. She gets it done. Speaking of one of the greatest Americans in the United States of America, John Jones says at the VMAs that he is training 5 days a week and is back in the UFC testing pool. Taylor, what does this mean for the UFC? And better yet, what does it mean for America?
Man, so I was so amped and excited when I first saw this, but then some more information came out. And so he was at the VMAs, what looked like at the red carpet, what looked like being interviewed by some random reporter. It was his publicist that did this video. And so it looks a little set up to me. So it brings me down a little bit thinking that it's just another prank. It's just another play. Because if Jones was in the gym training, like, somebody would have said something. Somebody would have taken a picture. There's been some video with Gable Stevenson, but he didn't really look like he was training, looked more like he was coaching. But all that being said, I hope it's true, because if he gets on that card, on the White House card, which again is a long shot, but it's like the only American you can send right now to get a win. So you got to do it for the country, man. You got to do it.
Ryan, tell me why Jon Jones is the best American.
Just because he does what we all have done. And that's not great stuff.
What we all have done. I don't think any of us have 13 successful title defenses in the UFC. Driving recklessly, maybe the scene of an accident, maybe once or twice, allegedly. But no, in all seriousness, I've said this before. I think Jon Jones is out here playing chess, not checkers. Every time he does one of these, it gets into Tom Aspinall's head. Is he coming back? Is he not?
Did you guys see that press conference, though, of Tom Aspinall and Gone? Tom Aspinall got, like, booed out of the building in Paris. Like,
that's crazy.
He couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
He gave up. He was like, Sarah, I'm just going to let you do your thing. Like, I can't talk. He completely gave up. It was insane. Nobody likes that guy because Jon Jones should be there.
No. Especially the French. French are very outspoken people. But speaking of outspoken, the UFC fighters, they finally spoke up, got a settlement from the UFC. We had Chris Camozzi on, the BKFC champion. He was talking about this a little bit, but it finally just went official. I mean, it's on Yahoo Sports, so it must be pretty official. Taylor, what's going on with the UFC settlement?
Yeah, so this is the first one, right, that's been in the works forever, and now there's already more in place, and this one was super large. I forget the exact number on it, on how big it was. But this one was not even going to be the biggest one. These next couple that are coming around for the next wave of fighters. So there's going to be a long stretch of court battles and payouts in these UFC settlements. And this is just one step to get these fighters money that they deserve. They built this brand.
Yeah, so the settlement ended up being $375 million, distributed to more than 1,000 former UFC fighters. And it had to do with compensation for the fighters, basically not the right amount of compensation going back to the fighters. Ryan, as somebody who deals in media as much as you do, what does this mean for the UFC, and will we see any more settlements like this one?
I would think so, for sure. There's definitely more coming. And then just to name it out there, Anderson Silva got the most, and they're reporting at 10 mil is what he received. That's wild.
Good for the Spider.
Definitely. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, of course, there's probably going to be more settlements, but UFC is just such a machine. Like, their contracts are airtight. Like, I don't know. I don't know if, like, how many more we'll see just because these guys are signing the contracts. Like, I don't know.
So, Agan, you're very much in the fight scene, both here locally. You travel across the nation as well. What are the fighters saying about this?
Man, I think I'm pretty sure the retired fighters, they're pretty happy about it. They definitely deserve it. Without them, the UFC wouldn't be where it's at right now. So, but with these new fighters, they probably know that in the future there's going to be some more settlements also. So.
Yep, 100%. So Taylor, answer this last question, and then we got to go. The UFC is such an absolute money-making machine. Are they just happy to pay these settlements, keep the money up front, pay the people a lot less than what they're worth, and then just settle? This one was 2014. It was filed, so 11 years later. Yeah, give me a big bill every 11 years.
Yeah, and I think that's like what their main concern is. They'll pay out these other ones. There's already a couple like formulated in final talks and everything, so there is going to be at least 2 more that come out. I think they pay them off now, and now they go to Paramount and they make these contracts so that it definitely can't happen again. Yeah. But I think they're okay with paying off these couple waves of fighters from the beginning.
Okay, that makes sense. So with that being said, that wraps up our segment for this week. Be sure to call Assured Roofing. Once again, their phone number is 303-646-0000. 9300 for all your roofing needs. And we will see you next week.